Hello, hello guys. Let me ask you this quick question. How many of you have apps on the App Store? So I want just to make sure it's very relevant and helpful for you guys. Thank you very much. Say again? Ourselves, we do only iOS for now, but I think there are some similarities on both. So I want to make this like really laid back, relaxed, not like official presentation, but more of a share my experience, what we've done so far. Maybe it will be relevant to you guys, and maybe you can use it later. So launching in the App Store. So there is no single rule how you make it. There is no one framework that will fit all different requirements. And as you know, there are different apps. Could be games, there could be productivity or business apps. Like in our case, they could be like freemium model, there could be paid model. So the framework that I like personally is I call it 3P, which is product, presentation, and penetration. And some backgrounds. Those are our apps like PDF Expert and Scanner Pro. Those are paid charts on the App Store. So we have paid apps. We have 7 different paid apps and 1 free app. And we always featured by Apple in the top charts in 25 countries. And this is our new app, PDF Office. And as you see, Scanner Pro and Documents also featured by Apple. And I just gave a talk on how to get featured by Apple. And if you missed that, I will be happy to tell you. And some background: we've started as a small startup by 4 friends in Odessa, Ukraine, in a small rented flat, and grew that throughout 7 years to 70 plus people company. And we're expanding, we're hiring, and focusing on mostly productivity, utility apps. Some of them I told you already. It's like Scanner Pro, PDF Expert, Printer Pro, and Calendars. Really, those apps help people to be more productive while being away from their laptops. And yeah, those are paid apps, as I told you about. Unfortunately, out of those 40 million, not all of those downloads are paid, because we've done some promotions with Apple, let's say, or some sales or discounts. Let's say Apple picked our Scanner Pro as App of the Week. App of the Week is when paid app goes free for 7 days. And Apple supports that. And throughout those 7 days, we've got 5 million installs worldwide, and it was #1 free app worldwide. So, the experience that I have is very narrow, because I'm going to talk about this specific framework that worked for us. It might be not very relevant for, let's say, for a freemium game, right? It's a whole different story. So just bear in mind that we are productivity apps, paid business model. We are one of the most well-known developers in this area, and we've been since day 1 on the App Store. So we have some legacy. So people and Apple know us. That also helps. And we have a lot of cross promotion and that we actually use as well. So these all are our apps, as I told you. PDF Office, we're trying new way of monetizing on recurring revenue. Those actually is free, but with in-app purchases. All the other apps are paid, and only Documents is a free app. So how to launch a great product? First of all, the goal is to make a great product. So what is a great product? Apple says to us, okay, so they say, okay guys, you have to make this product. Try to make it specific and to solve one real life problem, but make it very good and better than the rest. We will feature you, we will do this and that. So that actually helps. And then try to deliver that value to your customer. So actually people, let's say, when we launched Scanner Pro back in 2009, so people were not familiar with this concept of scanning documents with their phones. And we introduced this concept, and that's why it was so big. And then it became #1 business app in 20 countries for almost 2 years. And so it should provide real value, and you know that there is target audience. You know who you're building for. You know how you're going to deliver that, and you know that people will actually use that. So I got my presentation into like 3 steps: pre-launch, launch, and post-launch. So the steps I do myself. Let's say, for example, we're going to launch a new app, a new product in May. Our most ambitious product yet. It's going to be email client for iPhone. It's going to be a free app. We've never done something this big and this powerful. But that's like the steps I go through right now. So pre-launch, you have to do your homework and understand, okay, we build in this for who, we do our homework, and we have to select a date. We have to be very specific with everybody, with press involved, with Apple, with other stakeholders, and so on. With pre-launch, you have to prepare first iTunes Connect information. I'm sure you guys know all this, but just in case, make sure you have great screenshots, you have great description, and like actually first 2 lanes of description and give the idea of what the app does. So it should be very, very simple in 1 line. What is your product about? And also having something like social proof. Let's say New York Times wrote about us. I'm happy to include that quote in my description on the App Store because it actually gives credibility to your product. And also, it's very important to have good keywords and the proper app name. I'm sure you guys all know that, but just iTunes Connect check. Also, for us, worked beta really well. So with beta, we are able to get initial feedback and to actually get feedback of the users, of different users. Let's say we went to a bunch of conferences recently and showed email app to different people. Let's say we showed to famous bloggers, we showed to people with no jobs, we showed to just different people and different feedback, because your product will be used by different people and that you want to make sure everybody's happy about it. And with beta, it's also helpful to construct, based on that feedback, you can first improve the product. Second, create better onboarding process, so people actually understand what is app about, how to use, and so on. And press. Myself, I've been working with press. For us, we've never hired anybody. We've never paid any PR agency. It's all about our personal communications with all the press, and we've been quite successful on that. We've been covered by all the major tech and non-tech press, including Wired, New York Times, TechCrunch, Verge. Actually, Verge sent two journalists to Ukraine, to Odessa, and they made a huge long read about us. So those are some of the press that wrote about us. So how do we make it? I know you know how to deal with press, how to approach that. Just don't want to continue that because there is a lot of materials on how to approach that, and I really advise you to read this book, Pitch Perfect. It's by my friends Steven Sunday and Erica Sadun. Those guys worked at this website called TUAW. Unfortunately, it shut down, but the book is very nice. So the book tells you how do you get your press? How do you get your press release out? How do you make press guys and journalists and bloggers write about you? Very, very good book. Also, promo video is a very important part nowadays. People don't like to read. People are lazy, so bear that in mind. And making a promo video is very, very important. So I would suggest making it 45, 60 seconds as a video, and make it very simple, just to address what is this app about, what it do, and where to get it, and then try to do call to action. So for us, it was me mostly making videos for us as a hobby. I have like a separate company that does video production, so I can save some money on that, because some companies in let's say in California, they charge easily 60, 50, 100,000 K for a good video. By the way, this calendar video has about 200,000 views on the App Store, so 200,000 people actually saw the video. And it's very important to kind of show the video to press, to Apple. You can, whenever you launch, all the press loves it, because they will actually can embed the video in their websites. And working with Apple editorial, as I told you about, being featured on the App Store is really cool, is really powerful, and it can drive a lot of people. Let's say our documents during the launch was featured as editor's choice, the main banner in 20 countries, and we've got over a couple of million users in first few days. And getting that kind of traction is very important. So how to get featured? If you have questions, I will explain after this talk, because I just had a talk on how to get featured. It was a separate topic. And then we have a launch date. So be sure that when you launch something, you know the exact date and time. And sometimes it's pretty much hard because of the time differences. What I do myself, I usually set up the date and time for like New York time zone, 8, 6, 7, 9 New York AM is a good time. And during the launch stage, we try to focus all we can do, all we have, email, splash, press, Apple, at the very same moment, and then having that magnitude together help us to actually reach the top charts, because you have to be very precise and specific on one single day, and that's only how you can get the top charts in the App Store, and that's how you can actually get people to see your app and then get extra organic traffic. So whenever we do a launch, we usually hit the top charts. And email campaign email is not dead. It's actually very powerful, and there are many ways to get emails if you have existing apps. So let's say what we did, whenever like a person gets our app, we ask, hey, do you want to get tips and tricks from us? It's like just powerful information or something useful, or whenever we have an exclusive sale, we will let you know. So, and people actually want that. So surprisingly enough, we've got an email base more than 2 million people who subscribe themselves and like they're actually interested in our news, and that makes a very powerful channel itself. So and we also like localize, since we support most like 9 languages. We have to localize our emails and all our materials. That also helps, because surprisingly enough, even in Germany and in Spain, and people don't speak English that much. I'm not even talking about Japan and China and everything else, and Russia as well. Press coverage, I just briefly mentioned press. Press is very important for paid apps. It's one of the best channels to get coverage, to get traction, and Pitch Perfect is amazing. Like, I wish I read it before, because I had to learn myself on my mistakes how to do the proper press launch. And I call this Splash Campaign. Splash Campaign is essentially like an ad within our existing apps. So we have 7 different apps with millions of users. So sometimes we don't do this often, because we're really keen about user experience. We don't want to ruin user experience and show some ads for, let's say, if you pay $10, you'll be pissed if you see ad in your app, right? So we mostly show this in our freemium apps, and so it's something like this. Let's say if you're using documents, just like you'll see this pop up on your screen with new information, and then let's say we tell you then the value. If you get this, you will be available to do more things and so on. So, quick question: which one do you think is better, this one or this one? I mean, performed better. This one? I thought so too. I was like, okay, we show the actual app. We have this very nice, bright and photographic image, but surprisingly enough, this was twice as powerful. And then because we did A/B testing, we wrote our own system. This splash screen gave us around 100,000 more clicks on our volume, just because we did A/B. 100,000 people clicked on this because of the A/B testing. Social media. Social media is powerful enough if you're into entertainment, games, e-commerce, fashion. For us, it's not that easy because for many people, productivity is a boring subject. But I don't think so, because it's getting more and more, and actually, it's getting more and more traction, and it's getting more and more eyeballs, people talking about it, more and more attention from Apple and press. And so it's really easy to build some buzz around your launch. What I found that people love giveaways. Whenever I say, hey guys, we are going to give away like 20 promo codes for PDF Experts, and PDF Experts cost $10, and it's like the best PDF editing app on the platform, and they love it. And then they are engaging. We have hundreds of retweets and so on. So doing giveaways is very powerful. And sometimes you might have friends with huge user base on Twitter or Instagram or whenever, and asking them to help you with the launch, and then it never hurts, and then you can reach a few more million people easily. And you have also reward your users, be it like real rewards, real like t-shirts, mugs, whatever, or just say thank you and stay in touch, or give them some early access to our new apps. And partnerships is very powerful as well. I have a lot of friends who run in the same industry, and they have a lot of users themselves. So whenever I say, okay guys, we need your help, can you please make a splash campaign or email campaign through your user base, and I will return the favor later. So that also brings a few more million people. And all that combined, here's a few million eyeballs, here's a few million eyeballs, our email, press, Apple feature, and like in the same day, it all gets this huge mass effect of everybody's talking about it, everybody's getting your app, and you essentially end up there in top charts. And so we're done with the launch. We launched our app. We got a top charts, of course. Usually it's a spike during the first 2 days, and then it goes down a little bit. So the question, how deep it go and how deep it drops in top charts. So to minimize the effects, yeah, by the way, that's top paid iPad apps, and out of top 7, we have 4 are our apps. So customer support is a great way of free marketing. First of all, you solve a problem, you get a happy customer, so people are actually happy about timely and very good customer support. And we have dedicated team of 7 to 8 people, and we are actually going to hire more people to have this delightful experience within. You get the app for $3 and you have support right away, like somebody like actually replying. And using this cost efficient because it's not that expensive to have 5, 8, 10 people doing that, but the brand image, but the one delightful customer will bring 10 more. He will tell his friends or co-workers or anybody. And we always listen to what people ask. So our CEO, our CMO, and CTO during the first couple of years were replying all emails themselves. And we always trying to hear our customers and what they ask us about. And then when we add those features, they're very happy about it. And then that's what keeps us on top. I mean, on top of the charts. So, for example, Scanner Pro was launched back in 2009. Now it's completely different product. And in 1 month's time, it will be completely different product, because we always try to improve. We always try to listen, and we always try to engage with our audience and then ask what they want. But also we talk to Apple, and Apple advises us, like say, like, guys, there is this new trend. We launched this iOS 8 kit, or we're going to launch iOS 9. So please use our technologies in your apps, like extensions and so on. So that's about it. That's roughly what we do. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to do like Q&A session, or I can share experience how we got featured by Apple. I can talk, like I'm open. If you feel that I might be helpful, I'm happy to help. Yeah, I know a lot of them myself because I go to a lot of conferences. I spend a lot of time in California, and actually what I'm doing, I have my own blog where I write about different trends, about my experience, and that kind of builds up your credibility and karma. And so I know some things better than they are because I'm in this industry. So whenever they want, let's say, my quote for their blog post or my quote for their let's say TechCrunch reached out me saying, Dennis, can you please comment on this issue? I'm like, sure, yes. And so building those relationships, it takes time, of course, and people won't to just won't give you a favor. I mean, they have to like the product itself. And what I've found that, let's say when we have beta, I give early beta to those people, and if they ask me, oh, can you please add this small feature? And if we can add it, we're trying to make it, and then this guy feels very happy about it, like, oh, they listen to me, and this is like one of the best apps in this category. So I matter to them, so they will tweet about it for sure. User experience, I guess. Product should be easy to use. That's a very important part, is onboarding. So what do you show them? How do you teach them how to use a product? And then the ease of use and user experience. Features are just features. It's all about just how it is easy to use, how cool is the app, how often will you actually use it, and will you recommend it to somebody else? Of course, features are important, and like, let's say if you're talking about PDF Expert, that's the most technology advanced PDF editing app on the platform. So we have a very, very dedicated team to create those exceptional features. It's important, it is, but I think it's a mix. And what I see on the App Store recently, people are not very picky. They are okay with good enough. So if the app solves their issue, let's say our competitor for Scanner Pro, it's called TurboScan. You have to take pictures 3 times. I mean, I think it's a horrible experience. And then, but if it solved their problem, it's good enough. Or let's say guys like Genius Scan, it's a free app with ads. They don't mind ads, right? They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay $3 for our app. They are okay with ads, and the app does the job kind of okay. So they're okay with that. So it's getting more important to how you can deliver the message to those users, how you can reach them out, and if you can get this scale. Second? Yeah, sure. On the iTunes Connect, you go there, and then there is this tick. It says you can make it launch whenever it's approved. And you have to remove this, and then you can set yourself. You can release to the App Store yourself by clicking the button. No, I pick it. So it could, like, the app is, let's say the app is reviewed and approved, and it stays there. It's not live yet. So whenever I want to make it live, I just go to the App Store and click release to the App Store. So make sure when you submit the app for review, you have this tick unclicked. That's a good question. So price is interesting. We are positioning ourselves as premium price productivity apps, and that's why we have support. That's why we have all that. But the price is interesting. Let's say if we make a discount for something, I got some press buzz around it. I can send some email campaigns and so on, and we'll get this spike of sales in terms of money, right? Financials. But then it's in a few days, it will go to exactly the same amount of money per day as in sales compared to what we had before for higher price. So that's interesting. And then having a higher price will actually make people to spend more time with the app and then value it more. If you spend 99 cents on something, you don't care. You just can delete that just like small app, right? If you have something for $10 that actually solves your problem, great product. And you will spend some time like looking into that, reading about it, and then actually valuing that. So it was interesting. Whenever we had this discounts or app of the week with Apple, when the app was free. So usually the rating on the App Store, we have 4.5 to 5 stars of all our apps. So it's very high. But during those small periods where the apps were free or very cheap, the rating drops because people are not value the app so much, and then let's say they didn't need the app itself, and then they saw like for 99 cents, and they're like, okay, let's try, and it didn't work for them. I mean, they didn't actually like learn how to work. Like they didn't need. There was no case for the use of the app, and that's why they just gave like a small rating. Mm-hmm. Well, it really depends. Let's say for email, right? We have email 95% ready. So it really depends whenever you're ready and the timing. Let's say I don't want to launch email right now because the Apple Watch announcement, and everybody's going to be talking about Apple Watch. Next week is everybody going to be talking about apps for Apple Watch. So it's a bad timing as well. This week was WWDC announcement. Everybody was talking about that. So you want unless you're really big like EA Games or somebody like, I don't know, Zynga, right? You don't care about that. You just launch your stuff and everybody's talking about that. Or Microsoft, right? Whenever Microsoft launched something, people are talking about that. We're not that big yet. So I'm trying to pick the time where there is not so much buzz, not so much going on, and that's when I strike. Yeah, I guess we're done, right? Right. Thank you very much, guys. If you ever need any advice, or I'm always open. I have my website and Twitter and email. Just reach me out. It's Zahadanov.com, like this. .com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Big applause for our speaker.